expanding your networks. It's a multicultural and diverse world in one place, has celebrity supporters, and provides various entertainment services like branding, hosting, speaking, press kits, live interviews, and more. Just head over to www.cheenllc.com to find out more. Thank you for your support. Give a shout out to my sponsors, Deeper Entertainment, GT Digital, to TB IHG LLC Wholesale Warehouse in Douglasville, Georgia, to Feisty by Wisdom Cosmetics, to Organic Yardie Organic Products Reaching You Naturally, to Bleen BLINE for the face mask and merch, and also to Tima's Accessory for providing me with the accessories. Hey, get your live stream ad slots on a platform with celebrity followers, invigorated speakers, business gurus, and more. Go to www.zheenllc.com/services to learn more. Thank you so very much for your support, and don't hesitate, get your slots today. It can be challenging getting people to give you an actual review on websites like Google, Yelp, Consumer Fair, and Better Business Bureau. However, celebrity event host Chelsea Warmington can give you a true business review. Go to www.cheenllc.com to learn more. Thank you. Be a hero or shero in someone's life by supporting my Gloves On campaign, advocating for those battling life-threatening chronic illnesses and diseases and disabilities. You can support by making a donation, signing my petition, and or sharing my Gloves On campaign with as many people as possible. Just go to www.zheenllc.com to get more details. Thank you so very much for caring. Greetings and blessings, everyone. This is yours truly, Empress Chassie Warmington, aka All That Jazz, aka Lupus Slayer. You guys know that I'm not a trendy person. I don't try to talk about the same things because somebody else is talking about it. Because we got a lot of bloggers that has been highlighting and covering and covering the story and doing commentaries on the fight that has been now publicized that happened last year between Quavo and Saweetie on the elevator. And the only reason that I had to say something is because as I kept looking and I'm reading these comments and I'm seeing the responses, a lot of people really are not taking this as a domestic violence situation and they're not taking it seriously because what has happened is we live in a society now where everything has become normalized, and people like me who acknowledges it and don't normalize it, we're called sensitive, we're called delicate, oh, we don't have a sense of humor, oh, we're just dry. And with me being in my 40s, then the first thing a lot of people's like, oh, she just old, she got caught up with today's society. They always try to, you know, find excuses to meet and to cover up the wrong and to suit their stupid, ignorant, narrow minded narratives. But this is a clear sign of domestic violence. And oftentimes, women will hide the domestic violence in their relationship or marriage. Why is that? Well, living in a misogynistic world, women have been taught for centuries to be submissive, to the man, the stronger gender. The man is the head of the household, he's the leader, blah, 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 right? So we've been taught this stuff because I know I heard it all through my childhood and I still hear a lot of it to date. But obviously, I'm not trying to be funny, but men have been leading this many nations, and most of the nations that they have been leading, they have not really done well. It's a lot of problems in those nations, especially here in the United States. I could speak definitely in the United States. There's a lot of issues. So um, I take it how you want it, but that's just my call, my as perspective on it. Also, as a woman, who has myself been in a relationship or been engaged with men who have decided that they had the right to put their hands on me and to be violent and aggressive and abusive to me, whether it was verbally, physically, psychologically, emotionally. Um, it reminds me of the physical abuse when I seen how he was so aggressive with her. My thing is, you know, I, I just don't see the damn thing slightly humorous or funny about domestic violence. And so when I see people up here making these memes and video memes, and they're pretty much just being very insensitive, like 100% insensitive, lacking any kind of empathy or compassion at all. Like they have none. And it's usually like that until it's them, or unless it's them or somebody who they really love and care for. Like if it was their mother being slung around like that by a man, and they say they have a really strong relationship with their mom, it wouldn't be so funny. They wouldn't take so kind to it. This is someone's daughter, regardless of her. A lot of guys have a problem with Sweetie mainly because Sweetie, she does the reverse role. She dishes out to men what men constantly dishes out to women all the time, and that their attitude of entitlement that a lot of men have displayed. And I mean, let's just be realistic. We see it. Look at entertainment, not even just with the entertainment industry, but in life period. I know for me, men have constantly seen that as a consistent pattern where a lot of men have an entitlement attitude where they feel like they can say whatever they want to say to you as the woman, treat you any kind of way, do whatever they want to do to you, and you're just supposed to, take down to it and shut your mouth, just be happy, especially if he's taking care of you, or he's able to provide you with luxuries and stuff. You don't supposed to sit in things, supposed to just shut up because guess what? They like to say, I could easily get somebody else. And a lot of them they will say that because they know it's true. Because a lot of women, unfortunately, are really stupid. I just it is what it is. A lot of women are really stupid. They don't like to look at what the reality of the situation is. They like to be in denial about things because a lot of times women have been told for centuries as well that their bodies and their looks is going to be able to keep a man. It's going to be able to put him in check. If she does everything that he wants, he's going to be satisfied. He's going to do right, and that has never ever happened. We know this. This has never ever happened. If he wants to go out there and be a dog, he's going to be a dog. If he wants to be abusive to you, he's going to be abusive to you. If he wants to knock you upside your head, he's going to knock you upside your head. If he's stupid enough to stay in a situation, so you got a lot of these women that keep putting themselves in these situations. So I'm just like, okay, you asked for it. And I'm not saying that it's justified because he's still 100% accountable and responsible for the abuse and his disrespectful behaviors. But at the same time, it's like if you know that there's a gun, if there's a shooting, there's gun shooting, and you run out in to the middle of the gunfight and you get shot, injured, or killed, you can't blame the shooters because you were away from the situation and you didn't have to run into the danger zone. But you took it upon yourself to run into the danger zone. And a lot of women do that. They see all this red tape, they see all this danger zone, but I don't know what it is with the mentality of a lot of women as well. And I know a lot of that also come from society have taught women to use their bodies and their looks can get a man to do whatever she want to do. You see these women. Look at Sweetie. Sweetie is gorgeous. This young lady is absolutely stunning and gorgeous, and she knows it too. And she walks in so much. confidence and arrogance. She's a little cocky with it too. But when guys do it, it's okay. You know, Look at these, a lot of these male artists, especially hip hop rap artists, they are the most arrogant, cocky, entitled type of dudes you could ever meet in the world. But nobody has a problem with this, especially the same guys that are trying to throw Sweetie under the bus and get upset at Sweetie and want to criticize Sweetie. None of these guys have anything to say about Quavo putting his hands on her the way he did. None of them have anything to say about these guys going around here with this entitlement attitude and just going through women like they drinking bottled waters or something. They just, it's like it's almost like, okay, I have this gourmet meal in front of me. I'm just going to take 2 bites and I'm going to throw it away. And that's how a lot of these guys treat women. And guess what? The women keep falling for it because they see he has a pattern of treating women this way. Yet they think that they're going to be the one that's going to change her. You're not going to never ever change anybody unless they are ready to be changed. They're not going to be able to be changed. And I hate when people always say, "Oh, well, it was something about this person that made me change, or that made this person want to know." When they met that person, they were at a point in their life where they were needed and wanted to really truthfully change. And they just so happened that that person who they met and connected with, it made it seem like that person did something more significant than the other person to make them want to change. It's never that case. Never ever. I don't care how good you are to a person. I don't care how much you love a person. I don't care how devoted, committed you are to a person. Until they're ready to change, they're not going to change. I don't give a damn what you do for them. They'll just use you up. And the lady who what's the little girl, and I just call her a little girl because her mindset is really immature, really juvenile, like a 6-year-old little girl. And she won that lottery and she kept bailing her no good piece of man boyfriend out of jail. What, she spent like $60 million, I think, in total to bail this man out. And he turned around and had the audacity to try to sue her, but she had every red tape there was, but she just thought that he was going to change. This lady sitting up here being 100% devoted and committed to this man. And he did not appreciate anything that she did for him or who she is as a person. And the reason why, because she haven't given him a reason to. You teach men how to treat you women by what you take off of them. That's how you show them how to treat you. And the thing about it, if all women would collectively start standing up for themselves and not just taking mess from these men, I guarantee you they'll ship up, because they're not going to, especially the ones that really love Punani, they're not trying to sit up there and have no dang on sword fight with no guys. They're not trying to do that. They're going to want women. So guess what? They're going to shift their attitude and shift their kids, because a lot of times people would only do to you what you allow them to do to you. That's a person who has when someone takes advantage of you like that, that's a prime example and a clear indication that they have absolutely no emotional control. They do not have control over their emotions and over themselves as a person. And so somebody like that, you can't trust them, because they're going to always end up dipping and dabbing and doing stuff to constantly hurt you, that they know it's going to hurt you, that they know it's going to cause a breach in a relationship. They're going to continue to do it. They're not going to change. They're not going to have any reason to change. I don't care if they stop for a little while. All they're doing is rebuilding. And when they come back out again, when they start back doing it again, it's going to be worse than it was before. And I don't know why women don't get there. Like, damn, you cannot change no man. You're not going to change him. I don't care how much you love him. Oh, I love him. Oh, he got it. Oh, I love myself some Derek. Oh, I love myself some I'll say, oh, I love myself some Quavo. All of these men sitting up here dogging out women and treating them like crap. But y'all love y'all some them. Well, I'm gonna be faithful and loyal to my man. See, Saweetie, she had enough sense to eventually get out. And because she got out of the situation, now a lot of these guys who are misogynistic and narcissistic sociopaths, they're all upset at Saweetie for protecting herself and her well-being and her welfare, for not allowing a man to degrade her and treat her like crap. They're upset at her because she dared to stand up to them, and she's their preference to. Please, they definitely didn't like that one man. You're our preference, and you're gonna stand up to us. Huh. Listen, but guess what? It doesn't surprise me, you know, seeing that a lot of men, especially melanin men, defended Quavo's violent act on Saweetie. It doesn't surprise me that some melanin women are agreeing to do skits pretending to be Saweetie as the man is pretending to be Quavo. I already know those guilty of it. I already know those who are guilty of it and those who are desensitized to violence will try to twist the narrative and make it seem like I'm overly sensitive, as I was saying, like a sense of humor, bitter about past domestic violence experience, or try to find any reason to justify their ill-mannered behaviors and defending Quavo's violent response to Sweetie. So being in a tumultuous relationship is never okay. Many people are too lazy to do the right things, and they lack godly values, decency, and respect. And this is something I really want you guys to do too. Please pay close attention to what a person states or says about the fight between Sweetie and Quavo, and even the reason why she broke up with him. And I hate when people try to twist stuff like and I know people do stuff, to draw attention, you want to have a catchy phrase, but you can't slander people because they're trying to make it seem like Quavo dumped Sweetie. We already know that wasn't the case. Sweetie dumped Quavo. He even acknowledged it on Twitter. So I don't know why a blogger or YouTuber would even put that in their title. Quavo dumped Sweetie when we everybody know that isn't the case. I mean, that to me that shows that somebody is just trying to get clout and just trying to get attention and stuff because they're intentionally fabricating and twisting the truth just to try to get people to watch their channel. I'm like, damn, if you that desperate for somebody to watch your channel, just go stand on the corner with a big old sign like the people do on tax season and stuff and twirl that bad boy around or something and wear the costume or and dance on the corner or something. I mean, I don't know, do something. But don't sit up here and slander and lie on people just to try to get views and get people to watch your channel. That's stupid. But anyway, and it's desperate. So but anyway, but some men who like to treat women like objects, trophies, and properties usually are the main ones still upset at Sweetie for switching up the narrative during her interview with her ex Justin. Justin was the one that was hot and ready, like a little Caesar pizza at Sweetie. And she was not even paying him any attention. She was not even entertaining him. He up there all leaned back, shaking his legs and stuff, licking his lip. He all drooling like a damn wolf and stuff. Hot and heat, hot and heavy, hot, ready and heavy. Damn it. That's what Justin was. He wanted himself so sweet. Hey, yes, he wanted her, honey. But guess what? She wasn't even paying him any attention. She's there doing an interview. She wants to know they're trying to smash with him and hook up with, connect with him. That was not her purpose. But you notice how people, the men, mostly men, was trying to twist the narrative. They were trying to make it seem like Sweetie was sitting up there flirting with Justin and she was engaging in flirtatious activities and that she was there to supposedly link up. I mean, like they sit up there, they took this whole situation out of proportion to make it what they wanted to make it instead of just calling it as it really is, because the fact is the only reason they had a problem with it is, see, this is the thing with this narcissisticness and social pathology of the psychology, the social psychology of a lot of men that I have personally seen, especially with melanin men. And I can say that because I've experienced a lot of melanin men. I have a son, okay? And I had to get he's not one of those type, and I'm so grateful that he isn't, because I constantly have a conversation. I know we always conversate. I've been conversating with him since I found out I was pregnant with him. I talk with him. I get his point of view, his opinion. Hear his narratives and everything, and I tell him my point of view as a woman, and I give him my narrative and my perspective. We have a dialogue. He's a grown ass man right now, so we talk, we communicate, and a lot of men, they lack that. They don't have, they wasn't raised up like that. They were raised up with parents to spoil them but they wasn't raised up with parents to teach them and put character, instill true character and value in their asses. Because if so, they wouldn't be sitting up here embarrassing their dang on parents the way they are with this foolishness that they're saying and doing. But the problem is the reason why a lot of these men has now come out the woodworks and they all trying to team up on Saweetie and dog her and try to make her seem like she's the one in the wrong when it's clearly that she's not in the wrong. It's because she switched the narrative on them. She switched the narrative by, when Sweetie, when Sweetie said, well, I just put it, had Sweetie said a woman instead of a man, none of these men would have anything negative to say about her. Some men are hypocrites and can't accept women doing the same thing, same low down dirty mess they do to women. They can't accept it. They can't take what they dish out, when the tables are turned and their narcissistic, disrespectful, raggedy asses get scorned, they just cannot take it. Okay. Oh well, too damn bad. Guess what? It's done. And she switched the narrative, and a lot of women have been paying attention because she's a very admired public figure. She's very admired. So a lot of women are gravitating, and then this was something that Naval bubbleheaded ass said, oh, that's why I know my head big, but I'm not in denial about it. I know my face is big and look like a damn watermelon. I don't care. That's how God made me, and I'm fine and happy and love it. But he had the only reason I don't like my thing is you can state what you want to state, but don't be biased. And he was clearly biased because what he stated was okay. He's like, females, don't y'all leave y'all men because y'all not like Sweetie. Sweetie can easily get her another man. It's like he was trying. In other words, what he was telling women is because if you do not look like Sweetie, if you don't have money like Sweetie, you don't have um connections like Sweetie, then you have to stay in your relationship or your marriage, your abusive relationship or your abusive marriage. If your husband or your man is cheating on you and treating you like a dog, you need to stay with him. Don't be leaving him because you're not, consider a prize piece like Sweetie. That's what he was saying. That's exactly what he said. Actually, that's what he pretty much stated. Just not in those exact words, but you can use other words to say the exact same words. And that's pretty much what he was saying to women. And I'm just like, wow, like look at this monkey right here. This old big daggone horse tooth galloping bubblehead mother sucker. Okay. I'm not gonna say the other word because YouTube they're quick dang or shit channel damn. But it's just like so you're trying to say that because a woman does not look like the preference, the typical preference of a lot of you melanin men, that they have to tolerate abuse, tolerate disrespect, tolerate being cheated on, lied to, manipulated, deceived. They have to tolerate that because they don't look like Sweetie and they don't have the status of Sweetie, don't have her the kind of money and connections to Sweetie. That's what he's saying. And women, I really need you guys. I really want you women, you empresses. I just don't like when women constantly be stupid. Don't you know women are always preyed upon, okay? Especially melanin women. Melanin women especially are always preyed upon by every group of people. Every single group. Look at the stats. The thing is, none of this is secret. The stuff that I'm saying, it's not a lie. It's not like I'm fabricating it or I'm making it up. It's the truth, and it has been proven to be factual. So my thing is, women, please stop allowing yourselves to be prey to these narcissistic men, these abusive men, these misogynistic men. You have the upper hand, to be honest. Let me tell you something. We as women actually have the upper hand because we never need a man to conceive a baby. It was never created that way from the beginning until stuff started happening in the atmosphere. But our chromosome, millions of years ago, we didn't have to have sex with a man. That's why you still have certain species creatures like the seahorse. The seahorse is a unisex. It can impregnate itself. It can turn to a male or female. There's different types of hermaphrodite types of animals and insects and mammals that they don't need the woman doesn't need to be a doesn't need the man. She can turn into the gender herself or grow that organ piece of a man to impregnate herself. So, honey, we're some bad asses, okay? That's why, look, when you have, it's just, it's kind of like, and I know I'm not trying to throw the race card in there, but this is the only example I can really get. You just think about how with racism, why is it that they hate the racists, why they hate melanin people so much? Why do they hate us so much? Because we are bad as hell. Like we have shown and proven time and time again that we are courageous, we're strong, we are, intelligent, that we're conquerors, and that is intimidating. So, whenever somebody and my thing is too, if the male gender is supposed to be so dominating, it's supposed to be the leader, it's supposed to be the head and lead, then why do most male genders don't? Um, I know this because I worked in family children's court and juvenile court, and I seen where majority of the time, and even just having my child going to schools and stuff, going to the PTA meetings, going to the plays, the recitals, going to the sports game, you always see a lot of single mothers out there. You see a lot of mothers out there. You hardly see any fathers out there. And when I do see the fathers, I always acknowledge them. I always give them, props because we don't really have strong male leaders in the melanin community. And I'm just going to be realistic about that because a lot of times the ones that come out being seemingly to be, apart and seeming to be strong, they end up be doing some F stuff behind the scene. They really be doing some crazy trifling stuff behind the scenes and it gets exposed like Derek Jackson. You know, he got exposed after he stood there degrading and tearing down melanin men and putting melanin men down, using women as his platform to build his success and his platform, period, because he wouldn't even have a platform without women. So what I'm saying is women, stop being damn stupid as hell and stop allowing yourselves to be so gullible and so naive and being such an easy prey. Don't put yourself on the dang on chopping block to be beheaded. Why are you doing that? Don't do it. So anyway, but so many women celebrities be in or has been in physical abusive relationships with angry, insensitive, unempathetic, and narcissistic sociopathic men who always have a preference of the lighter complexion melanin woman to the non-melanin women altogether, who's very gorgeous and exotic looking. Look at Kim Kardashian, Kanye. That didn't last. They ended up divorcing. Riri, Chris Brown, they divorced. Well, they was never married, but they broke up. Look at Future. Future can't keep a damn woman to save his life. He can, Young Thug, he get him and just, do just like doing stuff, reckless things to knowing that it's going to mess up the relationship, know it's going to mess up the marriage. But some women stay, like Cardi B. I love Cardi B, but I hate the fact that she is so psychologically abused and brainwashed that she I don't even think that she can and know how to leave that situation. Especially with that being her very first marriage, she has a child, everything is going good, with the exception of the infidelity. And this man, he just really he loved her because, to me, just based on what I see, he loves her because of who she is as a famous person. I believe if Cardi B was just, if she wasn't famous, if she wasn't as gorgeous as she is, if she wasn't as popular as she is, he wouldn't even pay her no attention, even though she is his preference. He wouldn't even be bothered with her. So it's just like men, just like you got so women that be with men for money and for fame and capitalization, even though he have his own. And the thing is, he don't need it because Offset stands tall alone. Like he doesn't need to ride on nobody's coattail. So I don't understand why he wants to keep her imprisoned like that when he knows that he's not going to treat her right because she's first of all his preference. She's famous. He's being selfish and greedy. He doesn't want to treat her right, but he don't want nobody else to have her either. And because she's not strong enough mentally and spiritually to separate herself and emotionally to remove herself out of that situation like Saweetie did, she stays. But anyway, um, so melanin, even though a lot of these men get the women that they claim that they want their preference or whatever, yet they're still dissatisfied with their preferences. As a matter of fact, let me show you. Okay, so we got this beautiful. Let me show you guys Saweetie. So you guys who everybody know who Saweetie is, but I just like to show pictures also just as a reference because this young lady is so beautiful. And I'm glad that she was strong enough to stand up for herself because a lot of women don't have the strength to do that. So Saweetie, she just was not going to be taken down to nobody, okay? She's a very beautiful young lady and she knows it. Saweetie know that she is a prize to a lot of men. She understands the psychology of men, especially melanin men. And I have to say melanin men particularly because she primarily dates melanin men, and they always, the ones that she dates have dated, they always seem to have a preference of someone who is in her skin complexion, her hair texture, her natural hair texture. Because Saweetie is, she's, I forgot what Asian. I think she's Korean. I think she's Korean, and I think her mom is Korean and her dad is black or something like that. But she's she Sweetie is gorgeous. She's their preference, but even still, it wasn't good enough for Quavo because he don't know how to appreciate himself. You can't expect somebody who is not comfortable in their own skin and have true self love for themselves to love you because you see a lot of these dark guys, and just be realistically, most of these dark skinned melanin men, enriched melanin men, they always seem to want to go for the lighter females and stuff. And a lot of them say because they don't want their child coming out dark skinned, even if their parents are dark skinned, like their mother or their father is dark skinned, they don't want their children to be dark skinned. So, you think about all of this craziness, right? You just got to be like, well, like, damn. So what are you insinuating? But they get their purposes and they still abuse them and still are not satisfied. Look at Mimi Fawcett. You guys remember Mimi, lovely Mimi? Everybody remember lovely Mimi. She was married to a guy. Well, came to find out they was not even legally married because the presider forgot to sign and notarize the marriage certificate, so they were not legally considered married. And she was able to just walk away without having to worry about, separating, without going through the court of, you know, for property and stuff, which he probably would have never gotten in anyway because he's the one that caused the breach in the marriage. But anyway, she went through all this plastic surgery to achieve the body type that her ex Remy and had threesomes with women he wanted to have sex with. But what did he do? What did the ungrateful asshole do? Oh, I said the bad word. Oh, I would have to bleep that out. A-hole do. What most entitled, ungrateful, inconsiderate, and manipulative lying asses simps do? Cheat, lie, then play victim. That's what they did. That's exactly what his ass did. He tried to act like he was the dang on victim. He was at his mistress' house. He did a whole video sitting there lying his ass out, doing a whole video at his mistress' house, who's supposedly been one of her friends. See, that's why you don't need to have a lot of people around you. Okay, especially women. Let me tell you, women. All right, look, sisters have been around a lot. Okay, I've been around all groups, just by every group of people you possibly imagine. And I'm not talking about just like maybe like go to the grocery store and see the group. No, I've lived around them, with school with them, worked with them, hung out with them. I out of all groups of people outside of Hispanics, I have I have never seen men just be so degrading and so belittling of women like melanin men. And I don't say that with all melanin men. And I'm not generalizing all melanin men, but I'm saying as a group, okay? Majority of the men that I have seen degrade women, it doesn't matter if she's white, if she's Chinese, if she's Mexican, Hispanic, Asian, African, Caribbean, it doesn't matter. Majority of men that I have seen dominate and dog out these women and cheat and lie and manipulate have been melanin men on a massive scale. Okay. Because again, remember, I worked with family children's court and I've also worked juvenile court. And I also, I can't forget this, I worked with the Atlanta Police Department several years ago. I've always did some kind of work in the community. Okay. And I'm a community activist now. And one of the things I do with the community as a community activist, I always look at the census report. To see the marriage stats. Um, that's why it's important to report it, because what happens if you don't report, that you're on go and sign up with the census. That's going to be a different day, a different topic, but it does affect what kind of um, funds are delegated towards your community for schools and for streets, for shopping centers, and it to create jobs and etc. So it's important that you do that. But and these records are not hidden. You can go to US HHS.gov. They have records. You go to CDC.gov. They have records, and you can look at these stats for yourself. So you don't think that I'm just fabricating this and I'm making this up. Majority of households, single women household, single single mother households have children with the highest rate of absentee fathers is by melanin men. So that is a big problem. But again, I don't, me personally, I'm not going to put the blame on on all of the melanin men who do that, because the melanin men who do that, they can't do it without the cooperation of the woman. So women, regardless of your nationality, your race, if you've been stupid enough to sit up here and keep enabling them to perpetuate this type of behavior upon you and upon women, then you can't sit up there and act like you're a victim. You're not, especially when you see all the red flags and you see the warning signs. It's like how some of these females keep going out here getting pregnant by little baby. They're getting pregnant by future. They keep getting pregnant by these guys that they know are not going to marry them and not going to have a family with them. I don't care if they are able to take care of them. And I really just so sick and tired of these men saying this. Well, I take care of my children. At least I take care. It doesn't matter you take care of them. You're not teaching your children any kind of family values or family respect at all, because you got children scattered all over the damn freaking globe, and they don't have a true home and in home environment and family, and know what it's like to have their biological mother, their biological father living under the same roof, in love, in marriage, in harmony, in unity, and raising a family. So they're not going to have that value, because you are not teaching that to them. You're just teaching them that as long as you have money, you can go out here and be reckless with your anatomy, as long as you have money to take care of your children. And that's the most ignorant crap ever. See, that just shows the stupidity and ignorance of some people and women who are following behind people who have that kind of mentality. Guess what? You're stupid too, because you up here, amening, and enabling them to continue on having this type of reckless behaviors by allowing yourself to become impregnated by them. You're procreating with them. So you're not a dang on freaking victim if you're going in there with your eyes wide open and you know what the deal is. Stop thinking that you're going to be able to change your man and that you got the best punani in the world and you're going to be able to sweep him away. These men do not give a dang about your punani. They get punani dime a dozen. Okay? They'll have sex with you and go and have sex with three, four more other women that exact same day. Installing at that, installing them, getting them pregnant. Oh shoot, did I miss? Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, okay. I thought I missed my friend Miss Jennifer Holiday going live because I when I pulled up my phone, it just showed and I saw her icon because you know they'll show people icon at the top who usually have gone live or whatever. So I thought she had went live and I missed it. I was like, but anyway, stop enabling these men to be reckless with their anatomies with you and treat and because see what happens is when they're constantly when everyone just by every woman they meet allows them to treat allows him to treat her that way, he doesn't have any need to change and no reason to change or try to change because again you teach men how to treat you women based on what you take from them. And a lot of times a lot of you women y'all don't have no true self-love. Y'all really don't. Y'all claim y'all do because you go out here, you glam yourself up and you get your hair laid, your nails laid, get your pedicure, you know, you dress nice, smelling good, you're doing all of this stuff. You just, but what you're doing is you're just covering up all of that hurt and madness that you got going on the inside. That would only last for so long. It will only last for so long. And I think a lot of women have just kind of surrendered too. Like y'all have a lot of women, to me, I feel have just conceded to the notion that they're not going to be able to get a good man. So they might as well just play by the, you know, his game by whatever a man wants, you know, whether it's good or bad, you know, especially if it's bad, to just tolerate it because that's just part of the process. No, it isn't part of the process. They only doing it because too many women are being stupid enough to allow them to do it. And I hate to say that, especially being a woman myself, that's the last thing I want to do is try to tear down other women. But at the same time, I can't sit up here and act like it's not the obvious truth. If I can't look, if I can see the truth about the psychology of these men who continue to treat women this way, why and call them out? Why shouldn't I call out a woman because I'm a woman? I'm not a sexist like that and I'm not biased. I call it as it is, whether male or female. And a lot of you females are enabling these men to have these kind of behaviors. But because Sweetie dared to stand up and challenge that behavior and refuse to be subjected to it, you see all these men who have that warped mentality coming out the woodworks criticizing her and being upset with her about it. And as a matter of fact, let me just go ahead right now while I do this, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys the footage that I'm talking about of her and Quavo in the elevator having this physical altercation. So be right back. So, guys, as you all can see, this man was being absolutely violent towards her for no reason. I'm not saying that what he had in that case, and who knows, the thing is, people are speculating that it's only his case. Who's to say it's only his case? It could be her case too, or her, or have she may have some of her belongings in it. So it's just that, regardless of what happened, for him to abuse her in such an aggressive manner. My thing is, she wants to get off the elevator. Let her get off the dang on elevator. Okay, she had the case, and she's trying to get off the elevator with the case, whatever. If it's something valuable, okay, get off the elevator with her and go ahead, just get on your phone and call the cops. And I know why he didn't want to call the cops, because for one, he's a melanin male with dreadlocks. So we already know how that goes. So you have to be careful about that. But if they're in Atlanta, they don't really have to worry about that too much. We don't get too much of that here in Atlanta. Like on the outskirts of Atlanta, though, like Clayton County, um, Sandy Springs, areas like that, you might deal with it. Cobb County, if you in, Cobb County, certain areas, Forsyth County, you might. But for the most part, in Atlanta, we don't really have to deal with that kind of, craziness and stuff. And so I have to acknowledge that. But my thing is just how he is slanging this woman, this frail woman. They're both tiny, but of course he's a lot stronger than her. And he just stood there watching her suffer as if, like he was, as if he's saying, yeah, that's what you deserve. Yeah, this is what you were. This is how I feel about you. And at that moment, she should have just left in. But see, all the time, like I said, sometimes we as women, and I have to say we because I have been guilty of that in the past, where I stayed with an abusive person or someone who I knew was no good for me and wasn't going to treat me right, because I was in the mindset that, eventually love will bring us back together, or love will heal it. But it takes two in a relationship. That's the thing. So you can have all the love you want for that person. If that love is not reciprocated in the same likeness or more, it's not going to work. So she had enough sense to stand up for herself. And I just have to play this again. I'm sorry, I played it in the wrong order. So I'm going to go ahead and play it again, guys. So bear with me, because I just want you all to see this. This is crazy. My gosh. Now, I want to say that kind of being the first time that they've had a physical altercation like that. Just look at his whole entire demeanor and body language. How he just stood there in the doorway of the elevator, just looking at her. He didn't not one time did he offer to help her up. He was just unmercifully abusive to her. And for anyone to try to justify his behavior just shows how sick a person is in their mind and how warped their mindset is, that they lack principles and they definitely don't have any morals or compassion or empathy. And again, there was nothing, they're saying that she swung on him first. But I hate when people, again, this is with TMZ because this clip is from TMZ. TMZ, when I was reading their report, it was whoever wrote up the report, I forgot who the person name is. Let me see if I can find who wrote up this report so I can give you guys the actual name of the person who wrote up the report. Because what I did not like about this report, this person who did this report on the situation, is that they failed to acknowledge the fact that when Saweetie swung on Quavo, she was trying to get away from him. So if you're going to sit up there and do an article or do editorial, be an editor or a blogger, YouTuber, whatever, make sure you have all your receipts, okay? And clearly looking at the video, she swung on him after he was trying to pull her and keep her from getting onto the elevator to get the bag, that case. I don't know what it was about that case, whatever was going on in that case. She was adamant about the case, and so was he. But my thing is, it doesn't show who wrote this content. But what this person wrote is that, let me see. Okay, it says it shows both of them standing outside an open elevator. And when the video starts, Saweetie is swinging on Quavo. That's a lie. That's a lie. When the video is showing in the elevator doors, it clearly shows Quavo charging at her and then she swung. That's what it shows. So I don't like when, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are trying to protect this man who is abusing this woman. And this happens oftentimes. I'm clearly looking at the video. I kept looking at it because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just hallucinating. But it clearly shows that when the elevator door is open, it shows Quavo reaching at and grabbing at Saweetie. That's when she swung to get him off of her, and she would start reaching inside of the elevator to get whatever this bag is, honey. I don't know what's in there. Dang on, can y'all? I need somebody, please. Who knows what's in that damn case? Because, like, golly, they both putting their lives on the line over damn case. I want to know what's in the freaking case. They says the Call of Duty case on TMZ, but guess what? I want to know what's in the dang on freaking case for them to be carrying on like that especially in a public sit. I mean, it's publicly because you're in an apartment complex. I don't care if it is a high rise or whatever. There's still people that live there, other residents. So you're carrying on like this. What's in the damn case? What was so special about this case or this bag or whatever it is that just had them both just seeming to want to have? And the thing is, I don't, obviously he didn't want, it wasn't, I don't think that it was the fact that he didn't want her to take the case. I think he just didn't want her to leave, because if it was about the case, he would have just taken the case and the backpack and went on about his business. But he didn't do that. They both dressed alike, first and foremost. If anybody noticed that, they actually are dressed alike. They're color coordinated. They have on white, I don't know, those sweatpants or whatever, in a is this a hoodie or just a or just a I can't tell if this a hoodie or if that's just a black, sweatshirt. But they dress alike. And that's the thing, like this whole situation is just crazy, but nevertheless, it does not give him the right to treat her in the way that he did. There was other ways to resolve that issue, but he chose violence because when a person is violent, that's what they do. And I'm quite sure, like I said, this isn't the first time that he probably attacked her or physically assaulted her like that. I'm quite sure there's probably moments where she wanted to get away, maybe wanted to go out and do something. He didn't want her to leave him. And, that was his response because it doesn't just suddenly happen overnight. I won't say that there's always an indication. And let me tell you why I say that. Because I had an ex, that's the one that left this bruise on my back that I still have to date decades later. Um, he was never violent towards me or anybody else. He was not aggressive. He would be assertive, like if you push the envelope with him. But as far as him just being assertive and being aggressive, he would never be that way towards you unless you are. And it just seemed like he had all the patience in the world because I was, I would be snapping and going off on people and stuff, and he just be like, "You need to calm down." And I'll just say, "But they almost hit us, and they tried to be funny and stuff like that, tried to run their car towards us like they wanted to hit us and stuff." He just like, "Calm down." He was, I was the more rowdy one, right? So I would have never guessed that he would one day just snap. There was no, not even towards anybody else, because that's another thing too. The way a person responds to situations with other people or in other settings could tell you a lot about them as well, about their temperament. But he was not even like that. Like I'm telling you, is they what was they said the patience of Job and Moses or whatever, you know, uh, that he just had that kind of patience. Like it did it. So when he became abusive to me out the blue, like it was literally out the blue, and it had nothing to do with the situation that was at hand that he brought up about the food. It didn't have anything to do with that. What it was is it was his guilt of him out there giving it to temptation, and after he ended up getting this signing, getting this major multi-million dollar contract deal, that he decided that his whole demeanor and attitude changed. He started smelling himself, and he became physically violent towards me. And it only took him one time. Look, I'm not one of the women going to be standing around letting you knock upside my head and beat on me, kick me, punch me, spit on me, and doing all kind of crap to me more than once. That one time, that's it. That one time, that's it. So I called the cops, but I'm going to tell you guys why okay, women, let's start peeling off my lip. I want you guys to really hear me when I say this. Open up your ears really wide when I tell you this. Even though this man, because of course I called the cops, I left and I called the cops. I left with the same thing that I brought there. But before I didn't even grab anything. I just left. I called the cops. I was walking down the street, the long driveway. I was walking down the street. He didn't pursue me or anything, because I guess he assumed that I was going to come back, especially the fact that he got this major deal. I mean, he wasn't a broke man anyway. He was born into wealth, rich and stuff. His parents are successful and rich. So I wasn't. So it wasn't like he didn't have any money starting out. But the fact of the matter is, he got this deal. This was his money independently, not from his parents or his grandparents. They actually have generational wealth. So that's the kind of lineage he comes from. So but he wanted his own money, and I understand that. Um, Even though he had this abuse on record, and it was clear, and he admitted to it because the camera showed it anyway. I mean, like he couldn't even because he got surveillance camera all over the dang on place and stuff. Like we in the jail, like damn, we got these surveillance cameras all over the house for. But he didn't even I have to show them the footage. He just admitted to it. Even after he admitted to abusing me and assaulting me and kicking me down a flight of marble stairs. Yeah, he kicked me down a flight of marble stairs. You think that stopped him from getting that contract and that deal? No. So women, when I tell you that these guys, men like that, they all stick together. And they go against women like me and Saweetie, who would stand up for ourselves and don't tolerate their abuse, don't tolerate their disrespect. When we put our foot down and we don't have enough, and we stand up to them, it becomes a problem. And all of these men, little fan clubs, and men that have the same psychology as them, what they're going to do? They're going to come to his defense and his rescue. They look out and protect each other. We as women need to do likewise. So every woman need to be out there supporting and backing Sweetie up because she got out of a situation that she should have been gotten out of a long time ago. Because I can guarantee you, this is not the first time this man has been violent towards her. I have seen some of her pictures. I kind of looked. I know we all kind of have that one lazy eye. I think this one is mine. Is it? Yeah, this one is mine. I think on my left side. But there was a picture that I seen. Damn, do I didn't even. I should put that picture on. And I was looking at her eye. And so what I did is I looked at several other pictures because I was like, I wanted to compare. This one picture to me, it just looked like she may have gotten a fist to the eye and it was healing up. And she, she was trying to get it healed up as much as possible before they actually went to this awards. Let me see. I forgot what award it was. It was some kind of award that they were at. But she had on this gold dress. Well, I don't know if it was gold beaded or sequins, but it was a part. I looked at her eye, and then I just looked at a lot of the other pictures. Okay, I'm going to put this up. Let me see. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to put this image up because I want you guys to see this. Maybe I'm just tripping because of the situation, but it just, when I looked at her other pictures, I looked at several of her other pictures because I wanted to really get a good idea of how her eye actually looked, that particular eye. And on several of all of the other pictures, her eye doesn't look anything like that at all. So I'm just wondering, like, is this something that he does on a regular basis or have done on a regular basis, beat her and blacken her eye? Because I'm gonna have to do it like this because for some reason it's not allowing me to save it. So I'm going to put it here. Okay. Save picture. Yeah. Okay. So as I was looking at her pictures and stuff and I was going through it, I noticed like, and the thing is, I don't just look at one part of the eye, I look at all of it. Because, see, some people, they'll just look at one part, but I look at the slanting, everything, and it just seems like this particular picture to me is just seeing like she took a fist to the face, maybe like a few days ago or something, and she was now trying to like it had healed up enough for her to go out in public. um and I'm just hoping I'm wrong, but I want to show you guys this picture and you guys tell me what y'all think once I get it pulled up. I'm sorry I had to go through all of this just to get it, but that's the way it was showing. And one of her pictures, let me see if I can, because like one of the pictures, it's just the angle. She does smile with like a little slant smile, like a crooked smile. and sometimes it makes her eyes slant a little bit. So I just wanted to make sure. So I looked at other pictures of her with her eyes, with her having her, having a crooked smile and her eyes slanted. And I'm looking like her eye just seems to stay, there's like three pictures that I found in particularly where her eye was just seemed like it had taken a fist to it. So I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna post these two and then we'll conclude because I try not to go over an hour, but we're a little bit over an hour, not too much more, so that's a good thing. But I don't want my videos to be super super long. So, uh, all right, guys. So here we go. I got to log into the broadcast, so it's going to show two people in the broadcast, but it's not two people. But this is the way I have to log into it to add it. So it's easy. Why? I didn't even think to. I did thought about it, but then at the same time, I was like, well, no, I probably don't need to add it. But I actually should have just went ahead and added it because it is come to where I need to actually show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you guys these two particular pictures. Um, okay, I'm going to show you guys this one first. I'm going to show you all this one first, and then I want you all to tell me what y'all think about that. You see how her eye is? You see this one? I don't know if that's her right eye because I can't tell if she which direction she's really standing. But as you can see, her eye is kind of slanted and she has that crooked smile. This one, she's not with a crooked smile and her eyes are still slanted. So I was trying to find other pictures, because I'm just like, well, maybe I'm just tripping or whatever. But what I discovered is that on all of her other pictures, with the exception of one, her eye is not like that. So, and I went through several of her pictures, several other pictures. So I know that it's not the first time that he's put a fist to her face or abused her or probably slapped her. I don't think he necessarily probably punched her, but I do think he probably smacked her around a little bit, gave her, the backhand or the front hand. I'm quite sure he's done that a couple of times, because that's not the first time that man put his hands on her because he was too comfortable and he didn't care. And he just stood there while she's sitting up there suffering and stuff. This man literally just stood there like, okay, get up, what the deal is, this is something that we do, as if that was a normal thing that they do. Like that's a normal part of their relationship. I mean, I just have to show you guys how this man. I'm sorry, I have to just show this again because this is like really crazy how this man just literally stood there stone faced like he didn't even give no, you know what. Look at this. I mean, you see that like he didn't even try to help her up. He didn't. I mean, he just didn't care. So I know that's how I know that that's not the first time that he's put his hands on her and that they have had a volatile relationship. See, what I will say, had I will say this, had Sweetie not posted anything publicly about their relationship being, broken up, a lot of this other stuff probably would eventually came, but not as quickly as it did. So I will say this for you women. I know that I used to do that. I used to vent. Well, that I do that. Period. I'm a very expressive person, so I express things in writing. That's how I, that's just me. I've always done that. I've always put stuff in journals. I've always expressed myself in writing. So I've always done that. And doing it on social media, you have to be careful with that because it depends on who you are or the lifestyle that you live, the industry that you're in. Because, say, for instance, if you are in the entertainment industry, even if you're not famous or mainstream, you may one day become. And so then, those words to come back and hunt you and stuff. So you have to be careful with that. But for me, I'd like to express myself in writing. So I have done that on social media, but not um, as a way to try to tear somebody down or anything. That's just how I am and what I do. Everybody to each his or her own. So maybe I've never seen Sweetie express like anything in her relationship, even her love for him or whatever, too much. I mean, she have, but she's never been just like I'll have her relationship business all in social media like that. So for her to do that, it had to be something serious. But even still, I would just suggest, especially women, because we get really emotional quick. That's just the fact. We get emotional quick. Don't do it. Even if you took the two, put it in a journal. Write it in a journal. Get you some journal and just write it and vent it down in the journal. There's a voice recorder on your mobile devices. Do a voice recorder. Say whatever it is you need to say. Scream it out. Get it out of your chest. But just try not to put it in on social media, okay? Because that's what opened up the can of worms. And then that I'm not saying that um, that was it's justified for a lot of men to start attacking her, but that struck the match to start the fire. And we all know that sometimes it's such a strike a match doesn't mean that the fire is going to start or the match, would catch fire. But when she struck that match, that's when the fire started. And they started trying to use everything they could to defend him. Everything they could to try to defend Quavo. Everything. They were not caring about anything that Sweetie had going on, nothing that was happening to her. They were not concerned at all. They didn't care about her being cheated on by this man. They didn't care about her being abused, physically abused by this man. They didn't care about any of that. Only thing they saw is that this is a woman who is considered their preference, standing up to a man that has the same psychology and sociology as them, and they could not take it and they didn't like it. So, with that stated, women, y'all better start doing better. Stop being damn gullible and stupid as hell for those who are doing it. For you women who are out there doing it, I don't care how cute and fine you think you are or is. That's not going to keep a man. It's not going to make him stay loyal and faithful to you. If he's not a faithful and loyal person, he's not going to. First and foremost, if he's not even true to himself, how in the hell you expect him to be true to you? Like, come on, man. And let me tell you how he's not being true to himself. He getting in a relationship knowing he's not going to be faithful. He already lying. He lying to himself already. So I'm done. I just had to acknowledge this, but make sure you guys join me. I'm trying to think, do I want to wait till Tuesday? Let me see. Because today is Saturday, right? Wait a minute. No, today is. Okay, so tomorrow. I don't know when the hell I get Saturday. So tomorrow I do my Let's Talk People show. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about this racist in LaGrange, Georgia. We need to boycott his businesses. We need to shut this man down because this man has clearly said if he had it his way, he would eliminate every black person he had, whether it's woman, child, baby. He don't care. He's going to eliminate them. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So you guys make sure you tune in. And thanks again for watching. Don't forget to support my Gloves On campaign, everybody. Make sure that you go on to the website and support my Gloves On campaign. I really appreciate it. You can make a donation of your choice. As a matter of fact, let me see. I'm trying to see like which one because I'm doing another campaign which is only like a $5 donation. That's up to you to do it. I mean, of course, ain't nobody obligated to do none of that. But I really do. If you don't even want to make the $5 donation, please just sign the petition. The signing the petition, I'm telling you, that is priceless. if you just sign the petition. I would be so grateful for you to just sign the petition. Okay. So let me go ahead and get this started.
Be a hero or hero in someone's life by supporting my Gloves On campaign, advocating for those battling life-threatening chronic illnesses and diseases and disabilities. You can support by making a donation, signing my petition, and or sharing my Gloves On campaign with as many people as possible. Just go to www.zheenllc.com to get more details. Thank you so very much for caring.
All right, people. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude. And I really do appreciate you guys for watching and thank you for your support. Um, but yeah, this whole situation is just crazy. I don't know why people like to stay in violent relationships and reckless relationships. It's just not a good thing. But you guys have a good night. And thanks again for watching. God bless. One love, peace. And I'm out like a light.